Hey everyone, headphones on and get ready, because we're about to take a deep dive into the world of aircraft engine specialists. You with me?
You bet. We're going to break down how to totally rock that interview using RoleCatcher's career guides and their awesome database of interview questions. Trust me, this is insider info you don't want to miss.
The music to my ears. So let's get real. What does an aircraft engine specialist actually do? We know it's about engines, obviously, but RoleCatcher's career guide on this goes way deeper. Anything jump out at you?
You know, it's wild. It's not just about being a wrenching whiz. You're advising on engine care for both planes and D helicopters, plus running those super important operability tests. And get this, you're the person everyone looks to for understanding those super detailed manufacturer specs. Talk about essential.
Love it. You're like the engine whisperer.
Hmm.
Okay, let's get down to interview brass tacks. I'm dying to dig into this first question RoleCatcher gives us in their interview guide. What inspired you to pursue a career as an aircraft engine specialist? Feels kind of personal, right?
It is personal, and that's actually a good thing. This is your chance to show them you're not just clocking in, you're invested in this specific career path. This is where you talk about that spark, what got you hooked on aviation, and why you're drawn to engines specifically.
So instead of a bland, I've always loved planes, maybe you talk about, like, being a kid totally mesmerized by the roar of a jet engine at an air show.
Mm-hmm.
Or even how you spent hours upon hours building model aircraft with crazy detailed engines. Let that passion flag fly.
100%. It's all about show, don't tell, right? A story that pops is going to stick with them way more than just saying you're passionate. And hey, this is where RoleCatcher's AI can seriously help you fine-tune how you come across. Picture this practicing your answer and getting AI feedback on things like your pacing, your enthusiasm. That's next level prep.
Like having an AI hype person in your back pocket.
Yeah.
All right, question 2 from RoleCatcher's Guide. Can you walk us through your experience with engine maintenance and repair? This is where those stories we talked about come in clutch, am I right?
You know it. Now's the time to prove you can walk the walk. Don't just say, I have experience. Instead, tell them about a time you totally nailed a tough repair, something you're really proud of.
So for example, you could be like, during my time at Company X, I diagnosed and single-handedly fixed a super complex fuel system issue on a Boeing 737's engine, which drastically cut down the plane's downtime. See how much more powerful that sounds.
Boom, mic drop. And while you're crafting these stories, remember RoleCatcher can help you tailor them to each specific job description. Their AI is like scary good at analyzing what skills the employer wants and then suggests how to highlight those skills in your answers. It's like having a cheat sheet, but totally legit.
Mind blown. Okay, on to question 3 from the guide. How do you stay up to date with the latest engine technology and advancements? This field changes faster than a jet plane, so you got to show them you're all about staying ahead of the curve.
And get this, the career guide actually has some killer tips on this. It's not just about reading every aviation magazine you can find. Think about professional groups, the American Society for Engineering Education, maybe, or diving into specific journals like the Journal of Propulsion and Power. Being part of these communities shows you're serious.
It's like showing them that continuous learning is basically your love language.
Okay.
Picture this. You're in the interview, you get asked this question, and you casually mention a recent advancement like, how about 3D printed engine components? And you're genuinely stoked about it.
Now you're talking. That's how you show real passion, that desire to keep growing in the field. You're not just keeping up, you're pumped about what's next. And oh man, get this. RoleCatcher's AI can actually look at your answers and suggest how to make them even stronger. Think industry keywords, highlighting those skills they want. It's like having a secret weapon for your interview prep.
I'm telling you, RoleCatcher is the ultimate wingman. Okay, time to talk safety, a big one. Question 4 from the guide is, what steps do you take to ensure compliance with safety regulations during engine maintenance and repair? No room for cutting corners here, right?
Absolutely not. We're talking about lives on the line, no joke. You got to show them that you're all about safety, that it's in your DNA. Meticulous, unwavering commitment. That's the name of the game.
So how does someone really knock this answer out of the park? Give us the inside scoop.
The STAR method, your new best friend. Tell them about a specific situation where safety was paramount. Describe the task you were given, lay out the actions you took, and then boom, hit them with the positive result.
Okay, I'm loving this. So you could talk about, say, a time you spotted a tiny crack in a turbine blade during a routine check. You explain the potential disaster, the protocols you followed to the letter, and how your eagle eye might have just prevented a major catastrophe.
Now you're getting it. That's what I'm talking about. It shows you follow the rules, but you're also thinking critically, proactively about safety. And here's the kicker. RoleCatcher can actually help you structure your whole star story. Imagine practicing your answer and getting feedback on how clear it is, making sure you're hitting all the right notes. AI magic, I'm telling you.
This is incredible. It's like having an interview expert sitting right there with you. Okay, let's take a quick pause here, folks. We'll be back in a flash to keep this deep dive going with even more awesome insights from RoleCatcher. Don't go anywhere. And we're back. Okay, so before the break, we were getting real about those safety questions. And you know what? That kind of perfectly sets us up for this next gem from RoleCatcher's interview guide. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a difficult engine issue? Talk about a smooth transition.
It's like they knew we were coming. And this one, it's all about showing them how you think on your feet. Remember, you're not reciting a textbook, you're showing off that problem-solving process, how you tackle the unexpected.
So ditch the whole I followed the manual thing. Walk them through your process. Like, did you have to get creative? Did you maybe even find a smarter way to figure out what was going on?
Exactly. Resourcefulness, analytical thinking, that's what they want to see. You could talk about a time those standard diagnostic tests, they weren't giving you a straight answer, so what'd you do? Dug into the engine's history, maybe? Or busted out those technical diagrams, even phoned a friend for their 2 cents? Show them you're proactive.
Collaborating never hurts to highlight that teamwork. And while someone's crafting this story, that's another moment where RoleCatcher's AI can help you really make it sing. Like they can actually analyze your wording and suggest ways to make it even more, I don't know, impactful.
It's like having a ghostwriter for your interview answers. All right, ready for question number 6 from the guide? Buckle up, it's multitasking time. How do you prioritize and manage your workload when working on multiple engine projects simultaneously?
Oh man, the juggling act. That feels like every job these days, right? How do you not drown in to-dos?
For real, though in aviation, that time crunch is no joke. They need to know you can handle deadlines, shifting priorities, and never, ever compromise on safety or quality. High stakes.
So no vague, I'm organized answers. Hit them with a real example.
Yeah.
You got a go-to project management method. You a color-coding fiend with your lists. Give me the deets.
Yes. Details, details. You live by the Eisenhower matrix. Shout it out. Spreadsheets, your jam. Let them know. Honestly, the more specific you get, the more they're going to trust you can handle the heat.
Okay, love that.
Yeah.
Moving on to question 7, and we're back to those manufacturer specifications. How do you ensure that engines are properly maintained and inspected according to those specifications? Now, I'm not going to lie, documentation doesn't sound as exciting as, ripping apart a jet engine, but it's mission critical here.
Backbone of the whole safety and maintenance game right there. Every single thing, inspections, repairs, parts documented down to the wire. It's not just paperwork, it's the engine's whole life story.
Whoa, like writing the engine's autobiography, but way more technical jargon. So how do we show off those documentation skills in an interview?
System, baby. You and Digital Whiz with those maintenance logs. Got a killer system for organizing all that paper. This is where you shine, showing them you're not just detail-oriented. You love keeping those records squeaky clean.
Because it's bigger than just one engine, right? It's about safety, accountability, making sure those things fly for years. And hey, don't be shy about mentioning any software or digital tools you're a pro at using.
Preach. Knowing your industry standard software is gold. Shows you're adaptable, ready to jump right in. And guess what? RoleCatcher can even tell you which software is hot right now for the jobs you want. Their AI is always digging into job descriptions, trends, the whole shebang.
Okay, that's like next level intel right there. All right, got to talk about the elephant in the room, the one that makes people sweat a little. Can you describe a time when you had to work with a difficult team member to complete an engine project?
Yeah, the teamwork test. Tricky one, right? You gotta be honest about challenges without throwing anyone under the bus.
And it feels like it's less about the difficult person and more about how you deal with conflict, wouldn't you say?
Bingo. Focus on what you did and how it turned out positive. Did you step up and communicate? Find a compromise everyone could live with? Maybe even learn something from the whole mess.
See, those are the takeaways.
Yeah.
And while you're telling that story, keep it classy, professional, and solution-focused.
For sure. No negativity, just those top-notch interpersonal skills shining through. Staying calm under pressure, dedicated to the team goal. And hey, don't forget, RoleCatcher's got your back. Practice that answer. Get feedback from their AI. Find that sweet spot between honesty and keeping it 100% professional.
This is gold. All right, we're on a roll. Question 9 from the guide. How do you ensure that proper documentation is maintained for each engine project? Feels like we're circling back to that attention to detail.
It's all connected, right? And
Yeah.
it's huge GE in this field. We said it before, but that paperwork, those logs, it's the engine's whole life story, every checkup, every fix, every single part. Accuracy is key.
And it's not just about, like, being a stickler for the rules, right?
Yeah.
It's about knowing that those records, they keep those engines running smooth, keep people safe. It's a big responsibility.
Absolutely. And this is where you show them you get it. You're organized, you're meticulous, and you understand why it matters. Maybe you even have a system, a way you make sure everything's perfect. Don't be shy. Brag a little.
Right. If you've got a system, flaunt it.
Oh.
Okay, last question before we wrap this thing up, and it really speaks to how this field is always changing. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot an engine issue remotely? That feels pretty next level.
It's the future, my friend. Tech is changing the game. Think about it. The right tools and you can diagnose problems, even guide repairs, all from miles away. They want to know you can roll with those punches, think critically, even when you're not face-to-face with the engine.
Engine whisperer, but make it remote. So how do you nail this answer if you haven't done a ton of, like, long-distance troubleshooting?
Don't overthink it. Start with what you have done, even if it seems small. Walked a coworker through a quick fix over the phone. Used video chat to help with a tricky diagnosis. It all counts.
Even being comfy with those remote diagnostic software programs, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be relevant.
100%. It's about highlighting that you can communicate crystal clear, solve problems on the fly, and stay cool as a cucumber, even when things get hairy from afar. And guess what? RoleCatcher. Yep, they can help you practice this one too. Record your answer, get feedback on how clear you are, how concise, how well you explain those technical things so anyone can get it. That's the beauty of AI.
Taking interview prep to a whole new stratosphere. Okay, we got to take a quick pause, but hold tight. We'll be right back to wrap up this deep dive with some final thoughts and insider tips to help you totally crush that aircraft engine specialist interview. Don't even think about going anywhere. We are back and cleared for our final approach. We've covered a ton, from those super detailed engine specs to, like, becoming best friends with the STAR interview method. Phew.
We've gone full throttle to make sure you've got the tools and the confidence to totally ace that aircraft engine specialist interview.
You said it. Speaking of tools, can we circle back to RoleCatcher for a sec? The RoleCatcher Your Competitive Edge article, it really got me thinking. With all the AI and algorithms in hiring these days, it's easy to feel like your resume is just getting lost in the shuffle, you know?
Oh, tell me about it. Those applicant tracking systems are no joke. But that's exactly why knowing how to use a tool like RoleCatcher, it's a game changer. They've cracked the code.
It's like they've handed us the keys to the kingdom. And I love that RoleCatcher doesn't just leave you hanging. They give you a roadmap, all the support. Their career guides, like what we've been digging into today, it's pure gold for understanding what employers are really looking for.
And then their AI platform. Next level stuff. Think about this. Your resume, but optimized, laser focused on the exact jobs you want. That's RoleCatcher.
It's like having a whole team of career coaches in your corner. And don't even get me started on that interview practice feature. Being able to, like, rehearse your answers and get AI feedback on how you're coming across, your body language, everything. Game changer.
No doubt. It's like having a personal coach, but like AI powered and available 24/7. Picks up on things you'd never even notice.
Exactly. And here's the best part. RoleCatcher gets it. They've built this whole thing with a deep understanding of specific careers, like aircraft engine specialist. Their AI is constantly learning, analyzing job descriptions, what's trending in the industry, even interview feedback, so you're always ahead of the game.
It's all about giving you that extra edge, making sure you have every advantage to showcase your skills, your experience, that passion for aviation.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
All right, as we bring this deep dive in for a landing,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. Think back to, like, the toughest engine problem you've ever faced, the one that really tested your skills.
Yeah.
Now imagine you're in that interview, and boom, hiring manager asks you about it.
How are you going to use everything we've talked about today, all the awesome insights from RoleCatcher, to craft an answer that'll blow them away?
We challenge you to check out RoleCatcher. Get your hands dirty with those AI tools and see how they can take your job search from, like, a bumpy ride to a smooth landing. Because in this field, sky's the limit, right?
No doubt. With the right prep, the right tools in your belt, there's no altitude you can't reach.
So buckle up, get ready for takeoff, and remember, we're here cheering you on every step of the way. That's all for today's deep dive. Until next time, happy flying.